And hello, audio check. Let's wait for the live stream to catch up. Any day now. Okay, looks like we have some audio. So this is an experiment. We'll see how this goes. This may go disastrously, but hey, and I am in a tiny little TV to save space here. But yeah, let's talk about vibe coding. What is vibe coding? So Andrei Karpathy, way back in the old days of February 2025, is credited with coining the term vibe coding. There's a new kind of coding I call vibe coding, he says, where you fully give in to the vibes, embrace exponentials, and forget the code even exists. It's possible because the LLMs, such as Cursor Composer with Sonnet, are getting too good. Also, I just talked to Composer with Super Whisper, so I barely even touch the keyboard. And Super Whisper apparently is a voice-to-text app, kind of like Dragon, naturally speaking. Also, I just talked to Composer with Super Whisper, so I barely even touch the keyboard. I asked for the dumbest things, like decrease the padding on the sidebar by half, because I'm too lazy to find it. I accept all always. I don't read the diffs anymore. When I get error messages, I just copy and paste them in with no comment. Do I not show up? Oh, yeah, I'm here. Okay. Usually copying and pasting fixes it. The code grows beyond my usual comprehension. I have to really read through it for a while. Sometimes the LLM can't fix a bug, so I just work around it or ask for random changes until it goes away. It's not too bad for throwaway weekend projects, but still quite amusing. I'm building a project or web app, but it's not really coding. I just see stuff, say stuff, run stuff, and copy and paste stuff. And it mostly works. Yeah. And this is a very, very smart individual. And so let's just see what happens. Let's embrace the vibes and fully give in to the vibes and see what we can do. And this is along the lines of, yeah, like no, just little happy accidents. And let's embrace the Bob Ross and see where we go. So to do this, let's see if I can switch channels over to channel 4. Look at that. Is that high tech? Is that pretty cool? Yeah. So here we are on channel 4, and I have got a VS Code window up. And I prepped it just so I wasn't fighting with it, but I prepped it with an AL project, just AL Go, and I have got the chat window, and I guess this is Copilot chat, GitHub Copilot. I don't even know. It just prompted me to enable it, and I enabled it. And I apparently have a subscription, so there is some setup here. But I did an AL Go. I downloaded symbols. I have it pointing to my dev sandbox. I call it dev. And so let's just see what we can do here. So I'm going to go down to this chat window, and let me just make this a little bigger so you can potentially see it. And in my chat window, let's ask it some questions. And let's give it a little context. There's other ways to do this, but we're vibe coding, right? So let's say I use Business Central Online. And I've learned that's kind of an important distinction. If you use on-prem, you're going to have to be explicit with that. And so I use Business Central Online. We have support contracts for our customers. I would like, so question here, can Copilot read apps of AL packages? I don't know. That's a good question. it generally gleans context from the application and code that you have open at the time in your project. So that's where we're starting out, just starting out with the very basics. So I'm going to ask it, I use Business Central Online. We have support contracts for our customers. I would like to track those support contracts in Business Central. And so that's it. I'm not even going to ask it a question. I'm just going to make a statement. Let's see what it says. And I happen to have Claude Sonnet 4.5 selected as the agent. And later on, we'll experiment with different agents or different models and see how it behaves. And so I didn't even tell it that I wanted to do anything, and it just jumps into how do I please Steve mode. I'll help you create a solution to track support contracts in Business Central. Let me first examine your current workspace to understand the structure. Well, we don't have a workspace. We don't have any code. This is a blank, empty project. So it reads app.json, reads hello world, and it says it's going to create a comprehensive support contract tracking solution for Business Central. Okay, interesting. A support contract table to store contract details, a contract list page, a contract card page, integration with the customer card. So I didn't even provide any clues, any context. It's off to the races developing this entire application based off of virtually no information, which is interesting. There will be pros and cons, which you'll see shortly, I'm sure. And so the one quirk of using VS Code with Copilot I found is that it will constantly prompt you, interrupt and prompt you to allow certain things. And so this is saying remove item hello world because it realizes that hello world AL is not relevant. So I can allow this one time. So I'll just do allow, and then later on we'll allow without requiring approval on every single one of these because you'll see that it gets pretty tiresome. So it's going out to the terminal, it's removing that item, and it's getting rid of hello world for us. That's pretty handy. And it now says perfect. What did that take? 2 minutes? I've created a comprehensive support contract tracking solution for Business Central. I have implemented a table with these fields: customer link, contract number, start and end dates, annual amount, contract type, auto-calculated status, response time SLA, support hours, contact information, notes, auto-renew. I didn't even ask it to do anything. So this is pretty wild if you haven't seen this type of behavior before. It created a support contract list page, searchable list with color-coded status indicators, quick filters for expiring inactive contracts, direct navigation to the contracts, and then a contract card page, general information, contract details, support contract details. Wild. Visual status indicators, a renew contract action to automatically create renewal contracts, whatever a renewal contract is. We don't even know. Customer integration, added a support contracts action to the customer card for easy access to all customer contracts. It even provides next step and tells me what to do. Publish the extension to your Business Central environment. Set up a number series called subcont for automatic contract numbering. Okay. Find support contracts in this search bar. The status automatically updates. Okay, so it says it modified 7 files. Here are our files. It did all this for me. I don't know what it did. I don't really care. Just like Andrew Karpathy says, I don't even pay attention. I just say go, commit, run. This is vibe coding, so let's see what happens. So we're going to have to click on the keep button down here. So we're going to accept these file changes. It's kind of like a diff of sorts. Now notice we have 2 files that are red, 3 files that are gray. So it's as if there's some potential issues with these files. So let's scoot our chat over. Let's just do a quick scan, see what these potential issues are. And so it's saying there's an issue with number series. The table number series is missing. You might know where we're going here. Okay, so This is the, depending on how vibe you want to be with your vibe coding, you can run into these issues. And you'll start to make assessments as to whether this is viable or not, what types of issues you're going to run into. And those of you who know what's going on, experienced developers, will instantly see some of the problems. But imagine this is a, kind of a power user or a semi-technical consultant who wants to get into vibe coding because customers ask them to add a field, add a small extension, and they want to be able to do that. I mean, hey, you know, this is the new world. So we have one error on number series, and there we have a code unit number series management. Okay. Um, well, let's see what our support contract card is complaining about. Assist, edit, xrec, current page, update, and what else have we got? We have a page link customer number. Now, I don't know what these are, but I have noticed that sometimes the syntax errors, the lint errors and things, they just persist. So I'm just going to hit F1 and I am going to reload window. And let's just see if any of this kind of settles out once it reloads. And loading our workspace. Okay, so we still do have this error in the contract table and the contract card page. Okay, now let's take a look. One thing I've noticed, foreshadowing, let's take a look at our launch.json. Now I had launch.json created already because I downloaded symbols and it asked me the sandbox type. So I'm already pointing to an online or cloud sandbox. My environment name is dev, so that's good. It didn't mess with that. That's one thing I've seen. Let's look at our app.json and looking good. It didn't mess with that. It did update our brief and our description. Application 27.0 and runtime 16, no implicit with. So, okay, it didn't go too crazy. So let's prompt it again. And let's say that there appear to be some errors in the table.al file and the page. Well, let's be more specific. Support contract. And you don't even necessarily need to be that specific. But let's say support contract.table.al and support contract card.page.al. Can you please fix these errors? And, we're just vibe coding. I don't want to touch the code. Honestly, don't know how to fix half of these. So let's see what happens. I'll check the errors in those files and fix them. Checked. 5 problems found. I'll fix the errors by adding the proper using statements and removing and fixing the problematic code. Now, this will be interesting. Can it fix it? Let's find out. Perfect. All of these errors have been fixed. Added the missing using foundation number series, remove the number series management code unit reference not available in the current BZ version. So you see, sometimes it does some good things, sometimes it kind of doesn't really know what it's doing or doesn't pay attention. Simplified the number field validation, simplified on insert, and added the customer namespace, removed the assist edit that referenced a non-existent method. It now compiles without errors. Interesting. So I'm just going to click on keep. Sweet. Let's do it. Now it did tell us to create a sup-cont number series. Now, hey, instead of doing that, I'm lazy on vibe coding. Say, can you automatically create the new sup-cont number series upon installation of the extension so that the user does not need to create it manually? Let's see what happens. I hate setting up number series. Why make the users do that, right? It's a one-time thing. Just have the application do it. So it created an install code unit. I didn't even ask it what to create. It knows to create it. Now I'll create the support contract table to use the number series properly. So it created the code unit, install code unit. Presumably that creates our number series. It updates the table and it creates a start and ending number called SC. Okay, so let's see what happens here. Let's click keep. We're just vibe coding. We're going to run with it. And I've never tried this before. So normally I would press F1 and I would say, let's see, AL, I've already forgot it, publish without debugging. So that's what I would normally do, Control F5. And so I've been told that the AL language extension has been enhanced to expose certain methods to Copilot. So can you publish this extension to my dev sandbox without debugging? Let's see what happens. I am so lazy, I cannot press a keyboard shortcut. It's reading the application, it's reading the launch.json, alc.exe, al packages, allow. Okay. It's not recognized as a name. Okay, so there may be something that I don't have set up on my end, but I'll have to look into that. So, okay, so apparently it can't publish to a cloud sandbox quite yet. Maybe it can only do local, say, Docker containers, something like that. So I'm just going to give it a break. It did a good job. So let's do AL publish without debugging, and let's see if this thing publishes. Okay. That was hard work. So we've been going for, 18 minutes since I started this. So 15 minutes of talking. And it opens up to the customers page. That's kind of interesting. Okay. So let's just go back to our Role Center page. And I believe it told us to search for support contracts. Look at that. So there's our support contracts list page. I didn't write a line of code. So let's create a new support contract. And let's see if it did the number series right. I'm going to hit tab. Look at that. It created the number series SC. It automatically linked it to my support contract. And we have a customer. Okay, let's choose customer 10,000. And let's say annual standard support, because we have a description field. Status draft. Okay, I don't know what that means. It just did that. So let's take a look at that. Contract type standard. Coincidence. We have premium, enterprise, and basic. So it's giving you a bunch of ideas as to how might you design this solution in Business Central, which is very interesting without even describing what I wanted. And so let's say that this support contract is for November 1st, 2024 through November 30th, 2025. So I'm kind of expiring soon. Look at that. As soon as I enter that end date, it has a calculated field of status saying expiring soon. I mean, I didn't even ask it to do that. Annual amount, let's say it's $1,500. And sure, let's put them on auto renew. Auto renew. I don't even know what that means. Support details, response time. Let's say that this is a standard contract, so we have a 24-hour response time. And I don't know what support hours are, but let's say 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Okay. Contact information. Contact person. How about Steve? And this is Steve at, I don't know, Acme Services. Okay. Got to have the right phone number there. Look at this. We have notes here. Okay, I have an idea for notes, but this is pretty cool. So now look at this. We've got our navigation back to the customer. We've got renew contract. I'll hold off on that. Let's click on customer and it opens the customer automatically, navigating us back to the customer. So look at that. We have, and strangely, it puts it under approve. So under the approve menu, we have a support contracts action, and it takes us to the list. And it doesn't filter the list page, but I mean, I'm not going to complain. Pretty cool. So let's just start from scratch. Let's go into our customers. Let's go into our 10,000 and let's go into support contracts. And there's our contract expiring soon. Look at this. So at a glance, we see the status of all of our support contracts. This is 100% vibe coded. I didn't write a single line of code. I literally have no idea what it did. I don't know how to fix the bugs. It fixed it for me. And all I had to do was publish and kind of know what I'm doing in concept, understand the concept. So let's just try this. Before we poke around too much, let's say I don't like just having a single notes box. And I want to have note entries. Like I entered a note today by Steve, and here's the note. I want to maintain a list of notes. Okay, so let's leave this and let's go back in here and let's say, I don't know why it's spinning, but, oh, what just happened? Okay, so now I want to say, this is excellent. Instead of having a single note field on the support contract page, let me just make sure that that is the, I guess it's the support contract card. Just make sure I'm telling it the right information. So let's go in the support contracts. And yep, this is the support contract card page. Support contract card page. I would like to be able to add multiple notes to a contract with each note having a date, time created, user who created, and sort the notes from newest to oldest. Can you do that for me? I'm just being polite. So when our AI overlords take over the world, they know that I was nice. So here we go. So I'm asking it to improve the note capability. So I'm just going to exit out of this in case there's some conflict in BC. And there it is. It created a support contract note table, a notes page, support. It's updating the support contract card page. And okay. 3 files changed, working. Now let me remove the old note field related procedures since we're using a separate table now. Okay, support contract table. Check these items, 1 problem found. So now it's automatically finding the problems. I'm not even having to ask it. Let me update the notes page to show the newest first by setting the sort order. Okay. So it's not doing everything in one pass. Perfect. I've successfully converted the single note field to a multi-note system. And it linked to a contract note table and displays all notes for a contract, sorted them, shows date, time, user ID, note text, deletes action. Okay. And let's just click on keep. We're just vibing. Okay. So now I'm going to do Control F5 to publish without debugging. Let's see what happens. The old note blob field and related procedures have been removed from the support contract tables. All errors have been fixed. Cool. Okay. So it's still publishing. Could not publish the package. Okay. So look at that. So we ran into an issue, which those of you who've done AL know. So what did it do? It removed a field from the page. And obviously BC does not like that. And so let's just find an error occurred processing the request and could not install the extension due to the following error. The field notes cannot be located. Removing fields is not allowed. Okay. And so let's just see if it can fix that. Because I'm too lazy to modify the JSON file. So I'm receiving this error. Here, let me make it so you can see my big head through my big head when publishing. And let's give it the error. Can you modify my JSON file to allow changes to the database? Not perfect, but let's see if it can figure out what I mean there. So reading the app.json, working, made a change. I've added schema update mode for sync to your app.json. This allows the extension to make destructive database changes, including removing fields. Should now publish successfully. Awesome. Control F5. Now, obviously, I needed to understand what was going on there, and I needed to know there was a simple fix, and I can kind of guide it, but like I didn't remember exactly what the property was called. Schema update mode cannot be used. Okay, so schema update mode. For sync. Okay. So this is kind of part of the journey. I didn't update it. Okay. So let me save. Now let me try again. It's part of the thing is constantly prompting you, and I keep forgetting to look and say keep. Did that work? No? Maybe it doesn't work. Publish without debugging. Yeah, cannot be used in this context. So let's just see if it figures this out. Say, when publishing, I am getting this error. And those of you who know what's going on are yelling at the screen, but honestly don't. Because I didn't even look at the code. It's been a long time since I've done the schema update mode. Removing fields is not allowed. You need to increment the version number when removing fields. So the issue was it didn't increment the version number. Okay, that's funny. I didn't even think that was the issue, but okay. So let's keep it. So it says it incremented the version number. Let's see if that does a trick. Control F5. It's publishing. Okay. Oh, so okay, so it backed out the schema update mode. Yeah. Okay. So now let's try again. I'm now getting the error. So this is where you start to get kind of fight with it, and you've got to constantly nurse it. So now it's realizing it's like, okay, let's go back. And so it's saying, interesting, it won't allow this. Let me add it back as an obsolete field. So it's taking an entirely different tact, which this might be the more, perhaps the better. I mean, so it's like, okay, maybe this is a path of less resistance. So this tells Business Central the field's being phased out without actually removing it, which avoids the error. Kind of nice, clever. Okay, I didn't think it would do that. So now let's try Control F5, publish without debugging. Look at that. Okay, so it took a little hand holding and guidance, and I kind of kind of had to know what I was telling it, but I just fed it errors. I have no customers. Am I in dev? Yeah, I'm in dev. There we go. There are customers. So let's go back into my customer and let's go to support contracts. There's my support contract. And let's look at notes down here. Look at that. Now, I've seen this before. It's a little bit funky behavior. So you see how big these notes are. But so let's say, okay, hey, support contract is coming up for renewal. Spoke to customer who agreed to auto renewal. And let's hit tab and look at that. It timestamps my note, says Steve created it, and there we go. Now let's add another one just to check and just say set up auto enabled auto renewal on this contract. And let's hit tab. Okay, so now it's not auto sorting. It's only got the time, so I'm not seeing a second, so I don't know if it'll sort. Let's click on renew contract. New contract has been created. Fascinating. So rather than updating the dates on this contract, it creates a new contract. What does that even mean? Does it copy that? Look at that. It automatically creates a new contract from December 1st, 2025 through December 1st, 2026 for the same amount. Wow. Genius. Sets it up for auto renewal. Copies the information, doesn't copy our notes. I mean, this is vibe coding, folks. And this is without using any of the fancy features. This is without using any agents.md, instructions.md. This is without a PRD, no wireframes. It resorted the notes, as you can see. Has a renewal feature. Features I didn't even think of. And so show expiring soon. Show active. That's interesting. Oh, okay. Clear the filters. Look at this. I mean, this is vibe coding. Let's say a customer asks me, hey, I want to be able to manage contracts in Business Central. We have some ancient Access database or, old system that is homegrown and we want to get it out of there. Let's pull it into BC with customer linking. This is crazy. Now, is this the prettiest code in the world? I have no idea. I could at a minimum prototype this, show this to a customer, have a working demo after lunch. Say, great, over coffee. Let's have a call, discuss what you want. Say, wow, okay, so check this out. Let's say that's the scenario. I had a call with a customer. He asked for this. He says, hey, I really want to get rid of this horrible system. Perfect. Let's talk after lunch and let me show you a proof of concept, full prototype. Now, check this out. This is fantastic. Let's complement our AI agent. This is fantastic. Can you please create, what do we want to call this? A simple document describing this new support contract application that I can review with my customer. Please list the features of the application and please list the key features and also prepare a brief set of instructions on how to use the application. Save this as, what do we want to call this? Support contract overview.md. Okay, so let's see what happens. So it's working. So this is vibe coding in a nutshell. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just having a conversation. And with a couple of prompts, it's doing all the work for me. It's generating the code. It's fixing bugs. It's making enhancements. I'm just doing Control F5 to publish and review it. And in the near future, we'll likely have auto publish and we'll have hopefully the ability for the agent to automatically test the application in Business Central. That feature already exists for other tools, other platforms. As far as I know, it's just not available in Copilot with AL extension. So I've created a comprehensive overview document at supportcontractoverview.md. It includes overview of the application, complete list of key features organized by category, step-by-step instructions of all major functions, status indicator explanations, best practices for using the system. It's ready for your review with your customer. Okay, let's go find this. Supportcontractoverview.md. So there it is. Okay, so I am going to, now I've done this on other applications. Let's see if we can figure this out in VS Code. So one of the things that seems to be a norm these days is that these AI agents like to use markdown files. And that's what this .md means. And you can see it's kind of like super light HTML. And while I can view this in HTML format, it's not terribly human readable. So let's see if we can find a good viewer. And let's just ask the agent rather than me trying to figure it out. Say, what is a good VS Code extension to preview formatted markdown files within VS Code? Let's see if it knows. Oh, I totally didn't. There you go. I thought we needed an extension to have the preview mode. I totally forgot. So VS Code has a built-in Markdown preview. Just press Control Shift V and select Open Preview. Control Shift V. Look at that. I mean, okay. So here we have our documentation. So support contract management. I don't know that that made it any bigger. Overview and tells you what's going on. Contract management, customer integration, details, notes, documentation, how to use. All before lunch. I can just take an early lunch, come back, meet with the customer, show them what this is. This is a draft, obviously. Well, maybe not so obvious, but obvious to me, this will require developer review. It'll require cleanup. You'll want to get it into source code management, DevOps, GitHub, whatever your system is. You'll want to set up pipelines. You'll want to clean things up. And I didn't specify anything like what is the naming convention of tables, pages, code units? What is our numbering convention? How do you name objects, right? We're just vibe coding here, but for a 15-minute prototype, I'd say that's pretty good. So that is pretty crazy, right? And here we have a vibe coded prototype, proof of concept, fully functional, testable, works in Business Central online sandbox. And this is what vibe coding is all about. And it says even, oh, so let's say that I want to convert this to PDF. Let's see. It says Markdown all-in-one for enhanced features. Markdown all-in-one adds keyboard shortcuts and say, do I need an extension to print the formatted preview markdown to a PDF? Let's just see. I don't even know. No, you don't need an extension. You can just preview, right click. Oh, right click. I don't have a right click open in browser. Open. Markdown or use Control-Shift-P. Ah, that's stolen by Perplexity. Let me kill Perplexity. Quit completely. Control-Shift-P, print, open in. Okay, so there are a few things that it can't do for me. Oh, once in browser. It's saying right click on the preview pane. Well, that's not working for me. So anyway, you get the idea. You can now take this markdown file, you can PDF it, print it, whatever you need to do, and then share it. Oh, there's Markdown PDF by Wyzane. Okay, so anyway, that is the idea. Let's go back to channel 3. And we very much did the Bob Ross thing. We just figured it out, created some pretty prototypes, and there you go. So what was today's journey was talking to a computer. Kind of forgot this slide on the way in. If you remember this movie, it's a classic, Scotty talking to a computer. So what do we learn? These AI tools are pretty phenomenal. And as I just demonstrated, you can fully vibe code ideas, ask questions, figure out what's possible, what might not be possible. Get a nice proof of concept, get this prototype, give you ideas. What might you want to include? What do you not want to include? What changes do you want to make? And you can have a live conversation with a manager, someone from finance, someone from the sales department, anyone, and your customer if you're a partner. And it can provide knowledge and explanations. It can review specific code or logic. It can help you with design, and obviously you can write your code. So with that, that is the initial journey of embracing the vibes and doing the vibe coding. So hope that was interesting. I've got a long list of ideas that I'm just going to bumble around, do some Bob Ross action here. So, hey, talk to you later.